While such a war could damage India's economy, it could also create opportunities that might strengthen India's global power. So, the real question is, would a US-Iran war hurt India or secretly help it? Welcome to Secret Echoes of India. In this segment, we are going to talk about a conflict that could shake the entire world economy, a possible war between the United States and Iran, and more importantly, how such a war could affect India in ways most people never think about. In geopolitics, every crisis creates both danger and opportunity. The tension between the United States and Iran has been one of the most volatile geopolitical rivalries in the world, and if a full-scale war erupts, the consequences won't stay limited to the Middle East. One critical choke point is the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow sea route through which around 20% of the world's oil supply travels. India depends heavily on this region for energy. In fact, over 80% of India's crude oil is imported, and a huge portion comes through this route. So, if war breaks out, India becomes one of the countries most affected, even without firing a single bullet. One of the biggest immediate impacts for India would be rising oil prices. During conflict fears, oil prices can surge dramatically. For India, that means higher petrol and diesel prices, rising inflation, more expensive transportation and food, slower economic growth. Economists estimate that every $10 increase in oil prices can cut India's GDP growth and push inflation higher. In simple terms, a war in the Middle East could quietly tax every Indian citizen. There's another human dimension. Around 9 million Indians work in Gulf countries like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. These workers send billions of dollars back to India every year. But a major regional war could cause evacuations, job losses, decline in remittances, economic instability for Indian families. For millions of Indians, it would be deeply personal. Trade and supply chain disruptions in the Middle East can significantly impact India. As the region is a major trading partner, India exports rice, tea, manufactured goods. For instance, Iran alone imports roughly 25% of India's rice exports. War could disrupt shipping routes, ports, and logistics, which means factories slow down, exports fall, jobs get affected, and suddenly a conflict far away starts shaking India's domestic economy. But geopolitics is never one-sided. Even crises create opportunities. If tensions escalate between Washington and Tehran, India's diplomatic importance increases. Why? Because India has historically maintained balanced relations with both sides. India is a partner of the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue with the US, but it also cooperates with Iran through projects like Chabahar Port. This unique position could allow India to act as a strategic bridge between competing powers. In global diplomacy, neutrality can sometimes be a form of power. Another potential outcome is energy diversification. A crisis could push India to accelerate energy reforms. Instead of relying heavily on the Middle East, India may expand renewable energy, strategic oil reserves, new suppliers from Africa, the US, and Latin America. In the long run, such shocks often force countries to build stronger and more resilient systems. Sometimes pressure creates progress. Wars also reshape global alliances. If instability spreads across the Middle East, India may expand naval presence in the Indian Ocean, strengthen defense partnerships, invest more in domestic military production. India could emerge as a major security provider in the region. And in geopolitics, power often grows in the vacuum created by conflict. So here's the paradox. A US-Iran war would hurt India economically in the short term. Higher oil prices, trade disruptions, regional instability. But over the long term, it might also push India toward energy independence, strategic influence, and a stronger global positioning. History shows something interesting. Great powers rarely rise during peaceful decades. They rise during moments of global disruption. So, the real question is not just, will a US-Iran war affect India? The real question is, how will India use the crisis to shape its future? Because in geopolitics, every war redraws the map of power, and the countries that adapt fastest are the ones that rise. Thanks for joining us today. If you liked this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful videos. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.